All right, guys, so now we're going to continue on to the core activity. We're still going to be using tables to solve these equations. Now, just to clarify on that previous one, if you remember, we were going by 0.5s and we found the solution for 14. So when you report your solution, the answer is x equals 1.5, because at that given spot is when the equation equals 14. So for your answer, you would have to report x equals 1.5, and that's your solution. Okay, now to get rid of all this, we're going to need it to be blank so that we can restart a new equation for the next problem. So to do that, you just hit this X right here, and it's going to clear everything that we just typed in. It should be blank and back to normal. Okay, so now let me go back to number 2. Number 2 says, keep using the table feature in your graphing calculator to solve these equations. For each equation, record the table. So you're going to have to copy the table on here, and then you're going to have to report your solution. And I'll do that in a second as well. Okay, so here's the first equation, 3x plus 6 equals negative 6. So on this one, we don't have a y value here. We're going to have to change that to a negative 6. But here's how you do this. Think of the left side of the equal sign as a single equation, and then think of this other side of the equal sign as another single equation. So we're going to start off with this one on the left, 3x plus 6, and we're going to form an equation in decimals. Okay, remember this, 3x plus 6. Go back to your decimals, and you're going to type in y equals 3x plus 6. And I'm typing y equals so that it actually makes an equation for us, but eventually we want to include this negative 6, and I'll show you how to do that in a second. Okay, so there it is. That's graphed for me, but remember, we don't want the graph, we want the table. So you come back up here to the edit list, and then you go table, convert to a table, and there it is. It just made it into a table. Now, here's what you're going to do. Here's how you include that negative 6. This is already one of the equations for us, 3x plus 6. If you click over in the next column, you can type in a new equation. So this is going to be y equals negative 6. You just put the negative 6 in there. You don't need the y equals. Okay? And now you can see this. These are all negative 6. Okay, now there's an issue here. The goal right now is to find where this equation, the 3x plus 6, we want to see where this equals negative 6. So in other words, this number here should match that number there. Right now, I don't see any of these two columns matching. This one we know is going to be negative 6 all the way through, but this one changes. So we want this to kind of change and turn into a negative 6 eventually so that we have a match. That's where those two equations will equal each other. Now, if you want, we won't get into the graph yet because that's another lesson. So I'm going to keep working on the table. So now check this out. I'm on 2. Let's see, maybe at 3 something will change. I'm going to hit enter now. It goes to 3, but that turned into 15. Let's see the next one. 4, 18, 5. Okay, it's just getting larger and larger. This is never going to go to negative 6, but can we go backwards? Let me see what happens if I go up. Nope, it doesn't create the table that way. So we need to change these values. Unfortunately, that's what we're going to have to do. So let's see. This is at 0. This is the closest it is to negative 6. And that's at negative 2. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to change this one to a negative 2. And then I'm going to keep going backwards. Negative 3, negative 4, negative 5, negative 6, negative 7, negative 8, and negative 9. And that's where it stops. I can't go any further. So I'm going to look at this table again now. Now I had to do some of those changes in order to be able to find my solution. Here's what you're looking for now. Negative 21 and 6. Those don't match. That's not my solution. Negative 18 and negative 6. Nope. Negative 15 and negative 6. Nope. And I'm looking for where these two columns match. And I see that right here. Negative 6 and negative 6. Now, where does that happen? What's the x value when these two equations are equal to each other? And so the x value that goes with those is negative 4. That's your solution right there. X equals negative 4. So at this point, you want to copy this table over to this blank space. And then for your solution down here, you're simply going to type in you're going to type in X equals negative 4. Or you can write it in there if you have your book. I keep saying type in there because I'm using a computer. But you're going to put in X equals negative 4. That's the solution right here. X equals negative 4 because we saw these matching values. That's where those two equations are equal to each other. Okay? In the next video, we'll look at the next problem. Hopefully this is helping. Hopefully you're playing around with this calculator and trying to see how we're able to find our solutions. I'll see you guys in the next video.